Man, welcome to another episode of Real Shit Let's Talk Podcast, man. Listen, I got a brother from another mother in the building, all the way from Houston. You know what I'm saying? Izzy, man, what's going on, man? How you doing?
What's going on? I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing fine.
Glad to
Tell us
hear
a little
that.
bit about yourself, Mr. Izzy.
Okay, so my name is Izzy Baker. I am from St. Louis, Missouri. Got that long going. I live in Houston, Texas. Been there for now going on what? I'm gonna be 31 this year. I've been there since I was 18. Graduated from high school. Moved there for school. It's the Texas Southern University. Graduated with a degree in English, minor sports management, and I currently am a podcast host of PSA, the Mental Health Podcast, a podcast that caters to young millennial men who struggle with making healthy decisions, which we are now in season 9. As crazy as that sounds. And also, I have a ghostwriting service, and we do a little bit of everything writing related, from copy to technical writing, social media content, books, resumes, cover letters. Started off as me doing homework for classmates and people through the grapevine, and is expanded to a whole one-man band.
So with this one-man band, man, when do you catch a break?
I take a lot of breaks a lot because I am the break.
Okay.
And what I mean by that is, if you don't take a break, your body will break you.
Okay.
And I've learned that from experience when people just like, oh, I got to go. I can't stop. I just got to keep on going. Okay, watch what happened. Now you're sick. Oh, watch what happened. Now you at the gym. Now you didn't hurt yourself because you didn't stretch properly. You didn't take the proper, the needed breaks that you needed. So even this trip, this vacation, then where are we at now? ATL. And while even here, like, it's been a workcation. Like, I haven't even really been, I've been working like the whole time. So I done more work than fun, which is fine because I make fun of everything. I think it's the only child in me.
It's the only child in you. You're not the only child, though, are you?
Yeah.
You are the only child?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, how does that affect like your social life?
So one thing about only children that most people don't, they always say, oh, they selfish, oh, they self-centered. And I mean, I would say to an extent, I feel like a lot of stuff is when we was kids. Like, we outgrow stuff, you learn stuff. But I think for me, all only children are different, but we all have similarities. Like, we all get tired of people fast. I know I do. I like being by myself a lot. But at the same time, I'm an extrovert. So like, I like people. I'm not gonna jump on a bandwagon and be like, oh, I'm an introvert. I don't like people. I don't do all that because I like people. They get annoying, but I get annoying. So it is what it is. But I've always liked people, so I've always had a bunch of different groups of friends. I've always been a social, butterfly, I guess you could say.
Okay.
And it's getting me places because all those people who be like, oh, I don't talk to those people, I don't know those people, are they rich? Probably not.
Well, then, so that's interesting. I didn't know you was the only child.
It makes sense now that you like kind of pay attention, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It,
Yeah.
well, like I'm saying, because it's like, I mean, honestly, I thought you was like either the baby or the baby boy, or you were the oldest, so you had to like step it up and do these things and like become the astute young man that you are today.
Oh, astute. Okay, I like that. Well, so the thing is, I do have a stepbrother, but we didn't grow up together. So, but I call him my brother, but we didn't grow up in the same house or nothing. And he's 24, I think. So, yeah, we didn't grow up together.
They're kind of like just
But we
doing,
close though, yeah.
okay, doing his own thing.
Yeah.
And so if he has any other questions, like your services in school, he can just, hey, brother, I need you.
Yeah, when he was playing football, some of his teammates reached out to me.
Okay.
So,
And so with these services that you offer, like, let me ask you this: did you think about offering these services, like just off the strength?
so I got to give a shout out to my dad because me and my dad got something in common. We both are ahead of our time. Like, we tell people to do stuff, and it'd be like, not necessarily. Sometimes it'd be like, if you do it now, it'll be when it get to the time where it's gonna be popular. Like, for example, with the ghostwriting service, he had told me in 2017, like, you should start a writing service. But at the time, I tried, but I didn't really know how to go about it, which was fine because he planted the seed and then it sprouted at the appointed time. But at that point, it was just like, I had never heard of that before. So then I ended up doing it. Even like with the podcast, I started my podcast in 2018.
Mm-hmm.
Podcasting became a trend in 2020. So to me, I can say that I was ahead of the curve because if they say, "Oh, here comes another podcast, Ninja," they'll be like, "Well, I started mine. People was asking, what is a podcast?" So, but yeah, so I didn't see it like this, but a real creative gets inspiration from everywhere. And even with the inspiration for my ghostwriting service is not like anybody else's. Because if I tell you, like, not necessarily what inspired it, because it's already, he inspired it technically, but what I want to do with it, it's the way I want to go with it is definitely unheard of. So.
And so you turned it into like an LLC and all that other stuff.
So me, one of my old instructional coaches, and I hope she sees this. Shout out to her, which ended up becoming my principal for a short time. Miss Singleton. She always said we work smart, not hard. So when I was trying to get the LLC together, because the writing service has been around. So when we had the LLC for Prodigy, which is the Prodigy Sport Evaluations, PSA, the Mental Health Podcast, it didn't make sense to get a whole new LLC. It's like, might as well keep it under the Prodigy name. So we have PSA, the Mental Health Podcast, and then we have PSA, the Ghostwriting Solution. So it's all under the same. So yeah, I kept it all in house. But like I said, everything I officially put a title on it and came up with the menu. Shout out to Canva, and researching prices, how to do things, which we've since raised the prices since then, and of course added more. But in 2023, like around I think January 2023. So yeah.
And then with this, would you tell like other people to start a service like this?
I would, because one, I don't know nobody that has it. With the whole ghostwriting thing, there's only two people I know doing this. Nicholas, his name not Nicholas Cage. That's the actor, but it's another guy, this white guy named Nicholas, and then it's this other one who actually is the CEO of Podfest, Nick Paldivas, and they are go have their own ghostwriting services, but both are white men.
Okay.
And so they both dress like Bill Gates, which is fine. And but none of them look like me.
Right.
No, there's no ghost writer like this that has their own service that act like me, that talk like me. I come in the room, PTSO, in my club days, standing on the couch just clinking bottles. You would never think I'm going home to go write somebody's book over Aristotle or, any mental health related books or anything with statistics and quoting Martin Luther King and quoting Gandhi. You would never think I would be doing that if you just didn't know me, and depending on what setting you caught me in.
Right. So let me ask you this then. Being that it's an elite service,
Right.
who would be one of your all-time favorite people that you would want to write for or ghostwrite for?
That's a good question. I never thought about who I would want to write for. I more so thought who I want to have on a podcast. But if I wanted to write for somebody, because I have some favorite writers, like I like as far as like media wise, like I love Issa Rae. We can't talk about writers and not include Tyler Perry in it because he's just done so much, right?
Right.
I really like Issa Rae. I like Kenya Barris, where Kenya Barris, who was the creator of Grownish, and he got some other stuff. I saw him in Fat Joe. They about to turn into something on Stars. I believe it was Stars. And who else do I like as a writer? Mara Brock, I think that's her name, the one who created Girlfriends, and I seen an interview with her. I love Lena Waite, like what she's doing. Ryan Coogler, he's a director more so, but I like just his thought process. I just really like creatives and how they think. Like that's how I know if somebody creative for real. Like I can tell where you draw inspiration from. Because if it's not normal, that's how I know. Like shout out to Jordan Bentley. He's the creator of Hypeland. He's like the black anime guy. He created a piece for his Attack on Titan brand when he did the collab with Attack on Titan, and it was inspired. One of the jackets that I'm actually gonna buy at some point was inspired by a 2005 Kanye West Ralph Simmons jacket. That's creative, Ryan Coogler, how he drew inspiration for the stuff he draws for the things he created. Also like another of Tetsura Noroma. He was the creator of the Kingdom Hearts series, and he drew inspiration for that whole series based off of the Mario in Nintendo 64, and how he wanted something to play like that, and that's how he came up with his game. Because even then, the fact that he wanted to create a game that combined Disney characters with Final Fantasy, and they told him to make it an RPG, and they said that would never work. and that's to this day one of the top games of all time.
That's what I'm talking about.
So for me, I'm all about, if you are creative or you want to try something different, just be prepared for pushback. Be prepared for people to say that it's not going to work. But I've always been ahead of my time with stuff. Not even trying to be braggadocious, just being honest, because I've always thought outside the box, and you just have to make sure you're around the right people.
And do you ever teach people how to be ghostwriters and anything?
So here's the thing. There we go. So another inspiration, Tom Clancy. You know who Tom Clancy is, the one who like created Splinter Cell and all the like espionage kind of games and books. So he's been dead for a long time, but I think he died in 2013. But I saw something that said that he trained ghostwriters to write in his style. So even before he retired, he had trained people to write like him.
That's what I'm talking about.
So I want to definitely at some point do something like that to where eventually I'm just the CEO. I just want to be able to just be like oversee it, and then of course eventually when I have kids one day, I mean one of them will be my logic is somebody gonna know how to write. I mean if you had 10 of them, I don't want that many, but I'm just saying somebody gonna know how to write. Even if I just had a one, somebody gonna be like they like doing it.
Okay, so you being the only child, does that make you only want to have one child? Or you want to have multiple kids?
I want multiple just from the standpoint of I was the only child. Now don't get it twisted. Most only children be like, oh, I hate being. I had a ball.
Okay.
I'm looking at the camera. I had a ball. I'm not gonna let nobody lie and be like, oh, I was so lonely. I wasn't. Like people think we was lonely. Like I had a great time. I always had friends. I always, and I look at people who got a bunch of brothers and sisters and they social skills be off. And I hate that too because I feel like sometimes people be like, oh yeah, they're just quiet. They only talk to their family. That's not real life. You can't just talk to your family. Like I don't get that. But my goal really was to be 2, maybe max 3. But if I had one, I would be okay with that too. I just would want them to, not because, oh, they're not gonna social skills.
Okay.
I could teach a class on how to be social. So
now with multiple kids, okay, no more than 3. When do you hope to get married? Is it before like 40?
It'll be before 40. I already know. God's revealed to me it's gonna happen fast. So when it happened, I'm telling y'all gonna be like, he said it was gonna happen fast, and it did. Everything gonna happen fast, and I'm okay with that.
Marriage, kids,
and it's gonna last too. Watch, and it's gonna just happen quick, and it's gonna be like, here we are, and then
we gonna look back, man, and be like, welcome to Chop House Media Group. We have Izzy J's in the back.
Right, yeah, it's just gonna
That's
happen.
Cool, man. I think one of the biggest things that I learned about you that I honestly can say is really cool, bro, is like you have a laid back attitude. You know what I'm saying? Like you be just chill. Like, you can turn up when it's time to turn up. But like when you're about your business and the way that you talk about it, it just like always inspires for me in a way to always step it up to the next level. And I look at your podcast and I was like, okay, you got a podcast, I got a podcast, and Chapo and so everybody that got podcasts. It's like we all offer different genres and different things.
Right.
I think too, one of the inspirations what we were talking about, the pod peeps. I think that's really going to be like spin off really well with your expertise, chops, minds, and so on. I just like to say, man, when is your book coming out so I can buy it?
It'll be soon. At some point, now I'm been hired to ghostwrite for other people. So when the time is right, it'll happen. I just. Even with when we talking about creativity, and I appreciate the things that you said, like I just dropped a podcast trailer, a few months ago, I was leading into my podcast. And I sent it to people because I wanted to see their reactions. And not one person said it was bad. Like everybody was like, I like it. The only critique some people said was that it was too long. Mm-hmm. But see, I modeled it off of TV series. I modeled it off of TV trailers. I didn't model it off of podcast trailers because I looked up podcast trailers. They were not good. I didn't see one. I was like, I want to watch this. I felt like that company said, hey, y'all, we need a trailer. And they just said, here. That's what it looked like to me. And I'm not even a super critical person. So for me to be like, these not it. So now I feel like when I dropped that trailer, because there's a difference between the promo and the trailer. Mm-hmm. And so promo, 30 seconds to a minute. But a trailer is like, it gets you on edge to see like what's this going to be about. And it takes you kind of on a ride. Because like I said, it was modeled off of TV. And that's how TV series do, whether scripted or unscripted. It takes you on a ride. It's going to be something shocking. It's going to be something funny. It's going to be something that's like, oh, I want to watch that episode. Or what are you going to say next? Or what's she going to say next? So that was the effect I was going for. And that effect definitely worked. So I got what I was looking for. But as far as the book goes, whenever I do it, It's gonna be yeah. It's not gonna be the norm. I'll say that. Like I remember at Podfest, it was a lady. Everybody was so excited to see her. I had never heard of her. Not saying she ain't nobody, so that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying I didn't know her.
She was a nobody.
I'm not doing the Mariah Carey. I'm not saying I don't know her like that. I'm just saying I didn't know her. And so when I looked her up, I'm like, oh yeah, she's popping, like, and she actually inspired me to continue doing what I was doing as far as what I was wearing, because she said that whenever she goes on stage, she like bedazzled up. She's always dressed to the nines. I'm paraphrasing. That lady that says she dressed to the nines. But she just was like, she'd be dressed up because she was just like, she's over the top because she wants to show people, leave a lasting impression. And even at Podfest, I was hesitant on some of the outfits that everybody was like, oh my God, I like that you wore that. I was going to tone it down, and I'm glad I didn't.
Right.
Because I was going to like, maybe this is a little too much for that. And every time I wore it, it was a conversation started with the right people. So I say all that to say, the thing that you're scared to do is a thing you probably would change your life, or will put you in the right space, or will get you in that right conversation, because you just never know.
Got you. Now, has any of your ghostwriting that you've done for these people gone to either the #1 bestsellers, anything of like movie scripts or anything like that we know of or that you can speak about?
Not at the moment, but it will. Right now, just one of my clients, they said that people really like the proposal, so we're going to go to the next stages of that with the book, which is good, because then you get to, they book proposal money, which then opens the door to the ghostwriting, which, bottom tier ghostwriting for a book is $10K. That's the absolute bottom.
Damn.
So, I'm starting there now because I am, but when I get to the top, I'm going to be charging
$10K?
Yeah. But of course, you don't, I mean, if that's your deal, you ain't pay it up front, but most is like throughout 4 to 6 months or so. And you just kind of pay in increments. So, you got 2, 3 of them. You living lavish.
I mean, it shows about like the fit you got on, you know what I'm saying?
But look, this is dressed for less. They just can't tell.
I mean, styling and profiling, you know what I'm saying?
Appreciate it.
But I think too though, but like you said again, it is a conversational starter, you know what I'm saying? And you support your friends, and you got friends that support you, or you got a village around you that know, hey, Izzy is that guy.
Oh yeah, appreciate you.
You know, as they say, Mr. Put that shit on.
And it's funny because like I definitely be dressing, but I got some friends that make me look like, I ain't trying to be on their level, because them the real fashion heads. I'm like, I be dressing, but them the real like the fashion apostles. Like they have like the stuff I would never wear. Not because it ain't my style, but they make it work. They could put on anything. They could probably cut up this couch and the piece of that rug and then put on some slippers, and then you'll be like, how they do that? I don't know, but they did it.
I feel like even since you spoke about fashion, I kind of saw it last night at the Pimp and Ride thing. I was really much checking out people in their fits and stuff, and it was just like a lot of people sometimes get dressed for other people, to impress other people.
Yeah,
I think too we forget that we're human,
right,
and that like money doesn't grow on trees. We also forget that how do you be a personable person with, like, as I say, fake jewelry or whatever dirty clothes you got on? Because the clothes, I've been taught that the clothes don't make the man makes the clothes.
Right.
When you walk in a room, like you said, you're a conversational starter, what you have on. And then the fact that you can articulate your words and make something so simple as a book writing or coaching or different styles, hey, you building a brand. And so I think too, as Black young men in this world, this is something that we also need to pay more attention to, because when it's all said and done, nothing is going to change unless we do. And the fact that you do want to have more kids, have kids in general, that's cool. The fact that you will be married, that's cool. So you pray about all this or manifest all this, or?
Yeah, I definitely pray. I believe I want God to manifest it, because a lot of times we manifest stuff, or we try to, and you're playing with stuff illegally, because the spirit realm is very real. And if you get to playing with stuff, if you're playing with fire, you gonna burn. And a lot of times people will try to manifest stuff that God didn't tell you to do. And so you trying to manifest, trying to, at home, probably got the picture of a shrine of some girl talking about some, oh, make this happen. I'm gonna make this happen. And then you get her, and then she the devil.
Facts.
But you wanted that so bad that you didn't even hear when God gave the red flags, or just that ain't for you. And that might be cool, but that ain't who you supposed to be with. And I think that's why a lot of times everybody's trying to manifest everything. I'm like, y'all got that because
So you're saying you don't believe in manifestation?
No, it's a real thing. It's just who's manifesting it.
Right. Okay. So then piggyback off a conversation we had yesterday. If red flags are there, you know them, why do they stay?
Because let me tell you something. There's a such thing as strongholds, and sometimes people have a stronghold on people. And also, if you got a stronghold on you, it ain't nothing you can break from in your own strength. Remember that song Sierra 50 Cent, I Can't Leave Him Alone? And she was, I tried to change, but I just can't. It's a real thing. Like, we sing about stuff like that. Bow Wow, can't get you out of my, like, those are real things. And people sing about that because it's relatable. And that's why it's like, man, that's how I feel. Like, I just can't stop thinking about it. Yeah, they got a hold on you. That's why you really ain't supposed to be out here laying up with everybody, but things happen. It is what it is. But it's not to just like be like, don't do this. It's because the stuff that come with it. Sean Kingston, that song he first came out, and I remember I thought that was crazy back then when he was like, she'll have you suicidal when she say it's over. Like, I don't want to feel that way. People was like, no, it's just a song. That's y'all problem.
Nah,
It's just a song. It's just a TV show. It's just a movie. Like, stuff be speaking to your subconscious, whether you receive it or not. And people say it don't. Why you think when people get mad, they want to throw a drink? You saw it on Love and Hip Hop. That wasn't normal. You ain't never think to do that till you saw it on there. You know what I mean? So I'm not saying don't watch the stuff, or I would just say try to be aware as possible, because you just never know. Or, it was a video, I think the girl was doing the voodoo doll to Travis Kelce. Like, we've normalized with like voodoo and witchcraft and stuff, and it's like that's not okay. And she poking the doll, like, it's not okay. Now, you shouldn't be scared of that because of who you serve, but in the same breath, not to be aware, because some people say if you don't pay attention to it, it don't affect you. That's a lie, because if you don't see that car that's coming down the street and say, well, if I don't pay attention to it, it don't matter, you gonna get hit. So you still should be aware, but not don't be said live in fear, but
So I mean, okay, so when we talk about that aspect, what has happened in your life that you had to realize that change that you needed to do for self?
As far as manifestation or whatever? Well, we do it all the time. Think about the times where you wanted to work for a certain place, and you was like, just kept on going, and the doors kept shutting. One situation years ago I had, because I don't believe in signs, it was the day I had got jumped. It was like right before college. Sidebar, and spoiler alert, they wasn't seeing me, but they jumped me or whatever. Not try, they did. And getting to the party was so many red flags. Like, we get to the party, we was told it was 10. We was in high school. They said it was 15. Everybody didn't have 15, so that was the red flag. Somebody had to take the car and go, we gonna go get the money from Walgreens, we gonna come back. They did that. For something happened with that, then they got it, it came back. Then we get in there, it was literally 7 fights in the party. After the 2, maybe 3, they gonna shut it down. They kept fighting. So I'm like, that was a red flag.
Right.
Then and they just kept letting the party go. And then finally, as everybody started leaving, that's when the stuff started happening with me. And then, because I looked like somebody, and but like I said, that's when I was still playing football. I was about 280-ish in the gym, benching 3-something, squatting 600. So they wasn't seeing me. They was little. I've never fought nobody my size. It's always little people. One big dude did sneak me towards the end, and I said, you got that, because I was tired. But yeah. But anyway, that's an example of the signs was there and you ignored them. Or even like that job that you just keep happening. I was working I had a deal with somebody for a while, and I'm very self-aware. We kept clashing. It was at times I was dropping the ball, but it was times they was dropping the ball too. But we just kept clashing. It just kept clashing. And I finally said, I don't think we supposed to be. I didn't tell them like that. I said it nicely, but we parted ways because I'm like, I just, work wise, I just feel like it just keep being something.
Tension.
And I know for a fact that this is your business and you're going to say, and I know I'm the problem here, even though there are times it's been your fault too, but I know I'm the problem. So I'm going to just end it here. We are cool. Let's just end it in the right way. But there are just times that we try to make stuff happen that we just don't need to. And if you really pay attention, it's there, but we overlook it. And like I said, you was talking about with relationships yesterday, but what about them job situations? You be like, well, I really need the money, and you don't trust God gonna make the door open. So you like, you stand in this situation because like, I need this, I need this, I need this. And really like, it's just, you don't need that. I had to cut ties with a lady last year. She was very difficult and kind of rude, but I just kept saying, I need the money. And after I said, I don't need it. I don't need it that bad. Cause she's ridiculous. So I just kind of sent her a nice message and then we parted ways. And then I blocked the number.
Damn.
Just cause I don't want her to reach back out. But
Cause you're that diabolical worker. You know what I'm saying? You make, you, like you said, I told you, Mr. Make It Happen, and then Mr. Unavailable. Because I'm taking that break. And something you just said, man, that really, really hit home when you said, hey, I really need this money. Damn, I really need that job. Damn, I really need this because this and that got to pay. I was just talking to Chop about that. And he was like, bro, it's going to happen its own time.
yeah,
You just got to keep working at it. And it's like, if you're like, today I got a flat tire. Okay, today I got a flat tire. Did I make it to, my job? Would I do X, Y, and Z? Yes. Did I got breath in my body? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I made some money. I got to go spend some money because things are going to always happen. And just hearing you say it and hearing, and also like hearing from him, yours is just like, it's like, damn, I just said this shit like yesterday, 2-3 days ago, or whatever. And what it shows me is like, say, I know that money's coming. I just look at the overhead of me because I control so many moving parts that I can't stop the engine can't. I'm the engine. I can't brake.
yeah,
Because if I break down, a conglomerate of shit stops.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But also having that mindset too that, hey, money comes to me abundantly. I'm attracted to money. It comes into me all shapes, fashions, and forms, and it doesn't have to be monetary. Tell you something real quick. Yeah, the other day, this famous author wrote a book. I didn't know he was an author, but we was just riding around and whatever, and we had a conversation about becoming the CEO. Mm-hmm. And he was the CEO of many different high companies. And he was like, yeah, I've been doing this and just going X, Y, and Z. And so, you don't think nothing of it. I'm like, okay, when we finish, I'm helping him out or whatever. And I'm thinking, oh, he's probably give me like a little tip or something, or be like, hey, thank you. You know what I'm saying? You want a meal? With it? Like that. He reaches back and like, as he's getting ready to leave, bro, and he pulls out his book that he just wrote, signs it off to me. And it was like, the blueprint of business to becoming a CEO type shit.
Yeah.
The CEO playbook.
Oh, okay.
I said, a fresh copy. I'm talking about brand new, hot off the press, everything. And when I saw it, man, I was like, bruh, like that gave me chills because when I picked up the book, it was like, bro, you always been a CEO, but because you only see this little space of what you're doing for money, then you're going to keep chasing the money on this and not out here doing what it is that you're supposed to do or that God has called you to do. And so it's like, it's just real interesting that you said it, man. And I get chills a lot of that times, like when shit like that happens. And I sent it to my boss, my manager. I said, woo, woo, woo. He was like, did you ask for that book? Did you tell him you needed that? I was like, no, he just gave it to me and said, it's like, well, that means you attract good people. That means they saw something in you
Yeah.
that said, "Hey, here's your rite of passage," and
Mm-hmm.
not saying like religion wise,
Right.
but just saying, "Here's your rite of passage to become the CEO that you want to see, that you see in the mirror." You know, I'm always thinking outside the box as well.
Right.
I tend to learn vicarious through other people. As I see, like you said, if you gonna walk into the door, I'm not walking to the door. You know what I'm saying? It's better, more set, because I do have children, to be more set mindset of a leader or headstrong in leadership, providing, protecting, preventing as much as problems as possible. And even in, like, when it comes down to like relationships, it's I had that point in my time in my life where just arguing was it. Was it. Was arguing. But after a while, the older I get, or the older I became, or more mature, I started learning that I don't need you. I desire you, but I don't have to be here.
Yeah.
And what you're saying is that you've been a single, grown up by yourself, and you have put on that head space where it's like, it's just me. It's all of me or nothing. And
Yeah.
you built the village around you. Now, let me ask you this: do you, in your village, is there different colors, like shades of color of people, or is just one demographics for you?
So in my immediate circle, no, but I do have those who are, but not. I have different circles with a little bit of everybody.
Okay.
So yeah, remember at Podfest, and you was like, you sitting with the CEOs, and you sitting with them people,
Yeah.
and like I said, I act the same with whoever I'm around. So, yeah, I definitely have them in the other spots, but not in everyday basis as of now. That's subject to change.
I got you. Well, then, let's see, any other? I'm gonna follow up with something else. What is one of your biggest dreams right now?
I'm gonna just keep it like real. Well, yeah, they all gonna happen, but I'm gonna just keep it like what I really want in this moment, where I'm making enough money to where I ain't gotta wonder how my stuff gonna get paid. Cause like it'll get paid. It's just like I don't know for sure, but I just need that consistent. Like, okay, no matter where these other stuff come from, I know this person dropping 2K a month, this person dropping 4K a month. Like that consistent, not you know
Okay.
like the stuff getting paid for is just like when and how. But that's I know
The
where
guessing
faith come
game.
in. But I do believe that season of me where it's just kind of sprinkling here and there is about to come to an end, and it's going to be at least I know consistent with this 2, 3, 4. So which is actually the conversation I'm going to have tonight.
Okay. I like that. With God Himself, or just
No, with the
okay? I
yeah.
got you. I see what you did there. I like it, man. Now, listen, guys, man, Izzy, how can they find you? They need some ghostwriting services. They just need to hear the word from you, man. How can they find you?
So we are currently in season PSA, the Mental Health Podcast, season 9, every Thursday at 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern, and YouTube is when the visual drops. The audio drops that morning, that Thursday at 9 a.m. Central, 10 p.m. 10 a.m. Eastern. _ Izzy Baker Oven on YouTube and Instagram for the podcast on TikTok, and Instagram is PSA, the Mental Health Podcast. And then also with the YouTube channel, I also vlog in and out the office with Izzy Baker, chronicling the life of a full-time ghostwriter and podcaster, and then what I do in between and my unconventional workspace. And then I think that's it for now.
Well, like I said, guys, you need some ghostwriting services, man. We got Izzy, man. We always gonna bring it to you, bring it back to you, and also keep it within the, like say, the niche of the community. Teach one, reach one. Hey, this is another episode of Real Shit Let's Talk podcast, guys. Thank y'all, man. I appreciate you. Tune in, click like, subscribe. Also, join my community, Accountability Squad community. Let's turn up. Hey, the link will be right down in the bottom in the description. Tap in.